The Bears are on the clock right now. Looks like they're going to be making a pick. We're going to check in with Locked On Bears, Lauren Cox. We got a little tip on who it might be, so I don't think it's officially out yet. But Lauren, this is their first selection for the Bears here at this point in the second round. We didn't see them at all yesterday, so we believe it's going to be Kyler Gordon. So if that is what they end up doing, I think they're about to make that pick right now. How do you see him fitting in on this defense across from Jalen Johnson?
Yeah, the Bears have had a pretty massive vacancy there for a couple of seasons now, and all of a sudden you can slot him in as that week one starter to kind of give him a little bit of that balance. I think Jalen Johnson's more of that like physical up in your face type of press man cornerback, but Kyler Gordon can be, more of the off-ball athlete. He's really good at attacking downhill, and I think he's the type of like physical tough player with ball skills that we heard new head coach Matt Eberflus talk about this offseason as the type of mold that they want at that cornerback spot. They've had some other younger guys try and rotate in there and try and develop late round picks at that spot, but finally it's a little bit more shored up on that end of the ball. But a lot of Bears fans still kind of waiting for them to build a little bit more directly around Justin Fields and not just building up the defense.
The Bears did not pick at all yesterday, so this is their first kind of action in this 2020 draft. They do have a couple picks, so where do you see them going with their multiple picks?
We're waiting for the wide receiver. We're waiting for the offensive line. I mean, again, like somewhere along the lines, they have to start filling some of these bigger holes on the offense to support this young quarterback, but they kind of have holes everywhere. So I think the general manager's at the point where it's like, take the best player available on the board, because as long as it's not a quarterback or a running back, it's going to fill some sort of need somewhere on this team. So just get foundational players for the future. And if it happens to be a receiver or a guard or a tackle, I think that would be the best of both worlds.
We've seen them be aggressive before, so they obviously have that ability to go up and get their guy if they want to, because they have so many picks they can kind of move around. Do you see them possibly doing that today, trying to get a couple guys in the early second?
I think they're more likely to move back. The general manager has sort of publicly said a couple of times, like, hey, we'd prefer to get more picks here. That, when they pick in the third round at 71, they don't pick again for another 70 picks until the fifth round. So that fourth round seems to be the sweet spot that they might want to acquire a few more picks there, but there's got to be a team that wants to move up. And of course, if there's like a really good receiver, a really good offensive lineman again at that spot, it would be so hard to trade down just to acquire more picks if you're going to pass up on a potential difference maker on a team that needs more difference makers.
Certainly a couple different options will keep you in the mix, Lauren, of course, because the Bears will probably be making some moves here today. Peter, I'm going to throw it back to you now. I believe the Bears officially making that pick.